Right guys, we're back for our late night agenda after Wolves beat Liverpool by 2-1, sending the Reds crashing out of the FA Cup. That's one more we can take off the list of things that Liverpool won't be winning this year, but we do know that our focus is laser on the Premier League title. And of course we're still in the Champions League as well, a competition that we're going to go far in because we have a pretty damn fine squad. And look, there's no point in fucking about. We would have liked to have won today. We lost. Fair play to Wolves. I don't know what else to say on it, guys. I'm not going to lose my mind about it. The team selection showed pretty much where Jurgen Klopp was with this. He felt like it was something, I won't say he had to sacrifice, but certainly a competition that he had to show a little bit less respect to than he may have originally wanted to. The injury to Dejan Lovren won't have helped us either. That puts us in a bit of an awkward position. We know Coutinho can drop into that centre-back role. Look, I'm going to see how you guys feel. We will, of course, have a look ahead to the Reds game against Brighton as well. I hope you're all okay. I hope you got through that one in one piece. It's always a shame when the Reds lose. There's no point in fucking about and saying otherwise. But you know what, guys? I've said before the game, I'm not going to lose my mind if we lose. I'm not going to start being one of these people that worries about saying the City result affected us. It didn't. If we had gone out there today full strength and lost, I'd have probably been a bit worried. But we didn't. We went out there today with the second string side, played terribly. Wolves wanted it more than we did and they won the game, and that's as simple as that. There's no point in hiding away from it. Our reserves just weren't good enough, or our fringe players just weren't good enough. Alberto Moreno, I hope he never plays for Liverpool Football Club again. I'm sick of looking at him. He's terrible. James Milner had possibly his worst game in a Liverpool shirt, but I won't talk badly about James Milner because I've nothing but the height of respect for the man. Simon Mignolet was bang average, as he always is. I fully feel he should have saved Neves' shot. But look, it is what it is. These are all just little bits and pieces, excuses, nitpicking, moaning. At the end of the day, we lost. Wolves won. Congratulations to them. And no, I didn't watch the FA Cup draw, Tom, because what was the point? Honestly, what was the fucking point? If we're not in it, I'm no interest in it, so I'm not going to watch it. Look, we can look at positives, we can look at negatives, we can talk about the Reds having more time off between games now. People will want us to have had a cup run. I would have liked a cup run, but it's not the end of the day. When will we sell Moreno? His contract is up at the end of the season, Val, so either way, if he doesn't go in this window, he'll be gone pretty soon. What's the point in bringing Bobby and Mo on? They did nothing. Well, to be fair, they're two men in a team of 11. They can't do everything on their own. If I'm telling you guys what I thought was disappointing about that today, I thought that our midfield was shit. And shit is the word that I'm going to use. And I'm not, that's no reflection on young Curtis Jones, by the way. I'm not holding him accountable for that midfield performance. Not in any way, shape or form. James Milner was terrible. Let's be honest, Naby Keita just wasn't good enough in the midfield today. And I'm a massive Naby Keita fan. I still think there's a lot more to come from him. Camacho I thought was very promising at right back, but he isn't up to the standard of Trent, and why would he be? He's only starting off his career. Moreno was terrible at left back. I thought Daniel Sturridge was useless. I didn't understand what he was there to offer. I thought Shaqiri was in and out of the game. The first half I thought he was almost invisible. A little bit brighter in the second half. But just weren't good enough to a man. And bringing on Mo and Firmino with 20 minutes to go gave us a little bit more impetus perhaps, but at the same time it's not like we were banging the goal down. It's not like we'd 6 or 7 chances. The nearest we came was a fantastic free kick from Shaqiri that rattled off the post, and again the width of the post could have been the difference between us having a replay and us drawing against Manchester City, and we haven't got the rub of the green off the post on both occasions. It is what it is. There's no point in whinging about it or moaning about it. That's what happened. We are where we are. I'm not going to let my head fall off over it. Kiana Hoover is the fucking future PK, said Hassan. I thought he was very good today. That run out of centre back with the ball that he made towards the end of the game was just quality. And for that young man to be dropped in there after 6 minutes when Dejan Lovren went off with a hamstring injury or whatever it was, you know, fair play to him. It took a lot of bottle for him to come in there, and that he'll never forget this performance. He would have wanted to win in his debut, of course, but he'll never forget. He will have learnt lessons there today, lessons that he probably couldn't have learned in 2 or 3 seasons playing with the underage teams. So well done to him. Obviously Klopp rates the guy very highly, and you can see why. Seeing some Tottenham fans trying to slander Kiana Hoover, Tottenham fans could fuck off. Honestly, Tottenham fans can fuck off. That young man was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. He was a bit nervous in the first half, and that's understandable. But if you don't see quality in that young man, you shouldn't be watching fucking football. Because you can see exactly what he's about. And you can see why Jurgen Klopp rates him so highly, and why the club fought so highly, or hardly, excuse me, to get him from Ajax. Quality. He's going to be quality. A Dolphin would do better in goal than Mignolet. He's dirt. He's bang average. That's what Mignolet is. That's why we needed a better keeper. It just goes to show you the differences. Like, I would have saved that. I'm saying that here at 37 years of age, overweight, haven't played in a long time, and I'm telling you now, I would have saved that because my footwork would have been 10 times better than Mignolet's. It was awful. Awful. He had time to set himself, and he still didn't do it properly. This is a direct copy of the United stand. Is it really? Or is every fan channel kind of the same? Robel, you fucking idiot. FA Cup is Farmers' Cup. Leave it to the farmers. We're taking Premier League and Champions League. Like, the United stand invented fan channels, did they? Nobody else can have a fan channel. They own OBS as well, which is what you make the images on. Robel, honestly, mate, you're an idiot. Now, fuck off out of my channel, you absolute plank. FA Cup is the worst cup. Look, we can't knock the FA Cup, to be fair. We lost. It's just the end of it. That's Ajax youngsters for your top players. Brighton at home. Brighton and no mugs at home, said Low Fat, mate. We'll be grand. Don't you worry about that. We're going to go to the Amex and take Brighton apart. Don't worry about it. I'm not at all worried about Liverpool season having a blip. Not at all. We lost to a damn fine Manchester City side, and our reserves lost away to Wolves in the FA Cup. That's not a blip. That's just the way it is. I'm fully confident in this team. Honestly, I swear to God, guys, I'm fully behind this Liverpool team. I have every confidence that we're going to go on and win the league. Every confidence. Look at who wasn't there today. People will say it was a blip. Look at who wasn't there. Trent didn't play. Robertson didn't play. Van Dijk didn't play. Alisson didn't play. Gini Wijnaldum didn't play. Salah didn't start. Firmino didn't start. Mane didn't play. I mean, you're talking about the guts of our team there in the difference. I don't blame the young boys. They did well. I did want to win the FA Cup at the start of the season, but now we're not in it, which is true. Mixed reactions on Twitter. Look, there's always going to be people disappointed when Liverpool lose, and that's okay. Absolutely okay that people are upset when Liverpool lose. I get it. But big picture stuff. Big picture is what I'm saying. Like I would remind you the other day, with the end of the season, if Liverpool go on and lift the league title, this will all be just a vague memory that none of us will give a fuck about. Can you believe that Moreno, Origi and Mignolet were first 11 at one point? Origi I wouldn't be too harsh on. I thought he was probably the best of the backup, if that's the right phrase. What else have we got? The Revenite has put the link into the Discord group there as well, guys, if anybody wants to join it. Yes, Scotty, anybody else wants to feel free to just boot trolls out, go ahead. You've got my fucking full support. Just boot out whoever you don't like the look of. If they're coming in for one reason and one reason only, adios. I like the sound effects there as well. I don't know where that came from, but you know what I'm trying to say. Klopp just doesn't value any cup except the Premier League and the Champions League. Simple. Sir Anthony Peters. They crammed in too many cup these days. I lost count. Imagine being a player playing every other day. Fabinho looked solid at centre back. I thought the same, old dog, during the game, mate. I was very impressed. He's fucking quality everywhere, isn't he? Origi and Sturridge were woeful regardless. Origi scored, he did nothing, didn't win second balls, didn't chase the ball down, wasn't alert enough for flick-ons, touches. We were awful and far too slow. Today was another one of those games for me, Callum, where I just thought we could have done with somebody playing between the lines properly. At times you could see the centre-backs were looking and there was nothing on ahead of them. When we did get into midfield, they looked and there was nothing on ahead of them. The only options we ever had were down both flanks, because they were giving us those options. They were condensing the centre and giving us the flanks and hoping that they could block the crosses or they could cut us out before we got the ball in. And we weren't clever enough to play around them at times today. Same here, Craig. I believe we'll win the league and in a great position, but hopefully our centre-backs recover soon. Otherwise, Klopp will have to be very creative. Where else have we got? Arsenal versus United. in the next round of the FA Cup, low fat, mate. That's an interesting one. Yeah, interesting. Who did you guys get in the cup, low fat? I haven't even looked at the draw, mate. I haven't paid any attention. Get Hendo in at centre back. I'd say you're probably gonna see Fabinho drop in there now at centre back for the game against Brighton, and you'll see Henderson drop into the midfield role. Midfield for me against Brighton would be Henderson, Gini, and I want to say Shaqiri, but I don't think he deserves it after that performance today. Milner, I would play after that. That's 2 games in a row now. I think James Milner's been suspect. I don't know if it's catching up with him, if he's tired or what it is, but he hasn't played well against Manchester City and he hasn't played well again today. Again, very hard to be critical of James Milner because he's put in such a good shift for the club since he's been here. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. What would you be thinking for the midfield against Brighton if we're assuming that Fabinho was going to play at centre back? Origi looked like the only hungry one, Craig, in that front line, said the Revenai. Moreno, there's always the electricity league, said Luke. I mean, would he get in, mate? I don't even think he'd get a game. Would he get a game with Dundalk? I don't think he would. I think he'd probably be told to fuck off. He just hasn't got... He can't concentrate. He just hasn't got it in him. There was a chance today as well. He dove in, missed the ball, and he left himself wide open. 2 Wolves players getting in down the right-hand side. He's just brain dead. When is Joe Gomez back? I think he's about 10 days away. Matip is back training. I think it's just a matter of getting Matip up to fitness now. So it might come a little bit too soon for Joe Matip, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. We're not going to buy a centre back. Anyone that thinks we're going to buy a centre back in this window, you'll be disappointed. And I hate to be that guy that says it's not going to happen, but it ain't going to happen. In the summer, perhaps, because we're going to have to move somebody on. It's tough. I'm just fed up of our backup centre backs being fucking injured. I'm fed up of it. Of Dejan Lovren and Joel Matip just constantly picking up fucking injuries. When we need them, they're not there. Or they play 2 games and we can't get a run out of them. They're always picking up injuries. Always. Wayno said, should we sign Manolas release clause around £30 million? Wayno, have United been linked to him? I think. Do you know what? At 30 million quid, it's reasonable, Wayno. I think it's reasonable, mate. I don't think we'll do it. I don't think that Klopp is going to be rushed into signing a centre-back for the sake of it. We know he wants who he wants. And he's pretty stubborn in that sense. I do agree, by the way, with everybody who says we need a centre-back. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we don't need somebody in that position. I'm trying to be realistic and say that I don't think it'll happen in this window. I'm fully on board with selling one of Matip, or Dejan Lovren. Absolutely on board with it. Sell both of them if it's possible, and have Joe Gomez there. Or Virgil van Dijk, young Keanu Hoover coming through, Masterson, Nat Phillips, and bring in 1 or 2 more. Maybe 1 proper centre back, like 1 really good centre back. Yeah, I'm just fed up with them. I'm not even talking about their qualities. Just what's the fucking point of having backup centre backs if you can't get them when you need them? I mean, here you go, Dejan. Here's your chance now, mate, to play 6 or 7 games in a row. You can't do it. He's made of fucking plastic. It's really frustrating. Wayno, mate, what do you think of Manolas? Do you think there's any realistic chance of Liverpool doing it? Or I'm sure you've seen United being linked to him. And again, pal, thank you for the super chat. We needed Hendo in midfield, said Samuel. Didn't see the game. What happened to Lovren? Hamstring. 6 minutes or so into the game. Actually, it was probably about 4 minutes in when the hamstring went. But yeah, hamstring. It's very frustrating. I used to think it was just Matip, but then it was pointed out to me. Somebody showed me some statistics, and it's not. Lovren is just as culpable for these stupid fucking injuries. Phil Buckingham said Origi's not good enough. I'm 100% sure we can get someone much better. Origi and Sturridge look like they've never played in the same team before, said Christopher. I think Joe Gomez is back in about a week, said O-Dog. Ike said Fabinho, our new centre back. He looked very good there today, very good. He just looks mint anywhere, doesn't he? He's just a quality player. Fabinho's reading of the game's incredibly good, said Cameron. We'll beat Arsenal because they're shit, said Active Dan. Man City got Burnley. Thank you very much, and thank you Lofa for letting me know that as well. Home or away? Burnley home against City. There you go. Not too bad of a draw, and Burnley not in great form, probably not going to really pay much attention to the cup when they're fighting to stay up. Wolves have Shrewsbury or Stoke away. There you go. Would have been a handy-ish draw for us. But look, congratulations to Wolves. I never have sour grapes when we're beaten by a team and there's no contentious decisions or anything like that. Wolves did what they had to do. They fought hard. They worked for each other. They looked much more settled than we did. They looked like they fucking had a plan and they went about it. And they looked solid. And, you know, I've nothing but respect for them. So well done to them and best of luck to them in the rest of the competition. What country is Hoover from? He's Dutch, mate. He's from Holland. Well, what do they fucking feed them lads in Holland, by the way? Kiana Hoover, De Ligt, Van Dijk. What quality centre-backs they're bringing through. And Kiana Hoover was originally a right-back as well. He's only been moved into centre-back. I mean, wow. I'm blown away by how good that young man is. Fabinho deserves to play. He wasn't bad tonight. It's because Milner's 33. Yeah, look, James Milner. The thing about Milner is he's fitter than anybody else in that team, and it's proven in the pre-season what bleep tests or whatever you want to call them. I can't remember what they're called these days, but he's really, really fit. It's just I think you might be right. It might be catching up with him a little bit, and I find it very hard to be critical of Jimmy Milner because he's fantastic. He just hasn't been great for the last couple of games. And let's be fair, Cahill needs to fucking pull his socks up as well now. I know he's settling into the league and he will get. I'll give him time. Like, I'm not going to be overly critical, but there's glimpses. You can see glimpses of what he's capable of. I just think he needs that breakout performance. Keita, Wijnaldum and Shaqiri in midfield, said Ahmet. Right, where else have we got? I still think we need to bring in another striker and a midfielder who's more creative, said Scrapping Irish. Was Fabinho playing centre-back? Or why was he playing centre-back? Excuse me. To give other people a rest, mate. Van Dijk had to have a game off. He had to have a rest. And we didn't really have any other options there. I think the problem with Masterson and Nat Phillips is one of them is injured, I think, just about. And one of them is only coming back from injury. So they haven't had enough time really to bed them in. Redmen have said it's the worst performance under KLOPP. What do you think of that? I'm going to be a little bit nicer than I was the other day when somebody mentioned what Redmen's opinions were, because I feel like I may have been a little bit harsh that day. It was very disjointed, mate, and I think they're right. It was. I don't know if it was their worst performance, but it wasn't great. It really wasn't. There was no cohesiveness. Usually when players get brought in, and you could see it with Wolves today, there's a system in place and the players know when they're moved in and out, the system doesn't change. People know their jobs. They know what they have to do. Today we didn't look like that. I don't know, too many changes? I don't know, but it was shit. It was just shit. There's no two ways about it. Milner was covering 3 positions and mentoring 3 kids. He's fine. Anthony, mate, he was terrible against Manchester City as well. Not as bad as he was today, but he still was terrible. Again, though, as I say, Anthony, I love Jimmy Milner, so it hurts me to be critical of him. For me, Keita needs a run of game, said Daniel. He's a quality player, but needs a consistent run. The youngsters were excellent. We should buy Neves, said Val. I think he's alright. I don't love Neves as much as other people do. And yes, he scores some long range goals, which is fucking lovely. But he pulls the trigger quite a lot as well. And that shouldn't have been a goal. Any half decent keeper should have saved that. But look, fair play, Neves will go on and have a big career. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't be surprised if we brought him, who are you getting rid of? I mean, you're talking about replacing Fabinho there, because that's pretty much where he plays. He plays deeper than any of our midfielders outside of Fabinho, so I just don't see a place for him if we were to buy him. If we didn't buy Fabinho, then yeah, it would have made sense, but I don't know. Get another Hoover, a Miele and a Westinghouse, says Rod. Somebody else was calling him Dyson on the chat earlier on, which was funny. Fair play to younger lads as well. Neves is a gem. Good luck in the league, said Sheev Cayley. I don't think we'll get a centre-back this window, but I think we need one, said O-Dog. Maybe a loan in, said Scrapping Irish. This proves we should get the Turkish Messi. Yeah, there you go, the Turkish Messi. I would have loved Firmino to start, then we could have used 2 or 3 of the front team. Firmino just pulls all the strings and therefore should have started, said Callum Walters. The cable guy said, to be fair to Milner, he was helping out Hoover. I felt like Keita gave him no help. didn't give Milner the option of a pass when Wolves got the first goal. To be fair, look, there's no two ways about this. The first goal was entirely James Milner's fault on 2 occasions. As much as you want to defend him, his shitty control caused him to stumble over the ball, which caused him to lose it, which then allowed Wolves to counter-attack. And James Milner tracked the runner instead of going across and tracking the fucking forward. And he just let the forward run into the box unchallenged when there was already somebody behind him. All he had to do was run out and force your man to make a decision. But he just left him guide into the box, and then he had an easy side foot past Mignolet. It was absolutely James Milner's fault, that first goal, from start to finish. Daniel Sturridge needs to be gone ASAP. We need cover for Mane and Robbo, said AS Empire. Yeah, look, it was... I thought... Actually, as people are saying, I thought the young guys were okay today. I thought Camacho looked very promising, actually. I mean, there's a player in there that really is. Jones was okay, whilst a little bit quiet, I think, at times. He drifted in and out of the game. Hoover, look, he's going to go on to be amazing. There's no two ways about it. He was nervous at times today, but he's going to go on and be okay. Look at this. The lad who was alright the other night has come in now trying to be Billy Big Bollocks again. Mate, it was the FA Cup. We played kids. We lost. None of us are that fussed. Honestly. You've got one more chance of posting before I boot you out. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here, Mr. Fourth Gamma Papa, because you were alright the other night. But you've one more chance to post and then you get booted out. Keep the Hoover and get a new dust bag for the Millie. Oh, Rod, you fucking gem. Why are you saying we don't? I give up. I've had enough of him now. He's fuck off. He's gone. Dickhead. Gone. No, he's gone. You had your chance. I like to give opposition fans the benefit of the doubt, but most of them just turn out to be fucking gobshites. Give Keita some steroids for fuck's sake, said facility time. Didn't Salah come on? Shows Klopp kind of cared. I'm sure he did care. Jesus, I'm sure he didn't want to go out. I mean, he picked a team to allow him to get some rest in his players. I mean, of course, everyone wants to win every game. Don't get me wrong. Liverpool would have wanted to go out there today and win that game. Absolutely, no fucking sure thing. We just didn't, and it's just nothing to moan about from my point of view. It is what it is. It was a shit performance and we didn't deserve it. Wolves got what they deserved. We need to get Sol Bamba. We really fucking don't need to get Bamba. You put that message in as well, LFC Gamer, about 10 times during the watch along, and I kept ignoring it then as well because it's just silly. Sturridge looked pissed when he got subbed. Fuck Sturridge, honestly. At this point, I don't care if he looks pissed. He did fuck all. Put in effort, Danny, and then you mightn't get substituted, mate. If he looks pissed, it's completely down to him. It's his own problem. Do you think this is the start of a slip period for us? Not one iota, mate. I am not in the slightest bit concerned about Liverpool. Not at all. Guarantee you we go to Brighton and beat them. Guaranteed we do it. And we do it convincingly as well. Again, let's just look at the starting 11 tonight. No Alisson, no Trent, no Van Dijk. Obviously no Gomez because he was injured. No Robertson, no Henderson, no Gini Wijnaldum, no Mo, no Bobby, no Mane. And that's, you know, I know 2 of those did come on later on in the game, but that's basically the entire team that didn't play there today. Don't know what Milner was smoking on the first one. He just completely lost it for the first one. There's no two ways about it. Completely lost it. Liverpool have no squad depth. Again, mate, we really do. We do have squad depth. I could name you 3 players for every position almost. It's not about squad depth for us at the minute. It's just injuries in defence. We've got no centre backs available basically. We've got Lovren injured. We've got Gomez injured. We've got Matip injured, and we've got one of Masterson or Nat Phillips injured. I can't remember who it was. And then we didn't have Van Dijk today, and then Lovren went off. We just have no centre backs, mate. It's not about squad depth. We have a lot of squad depth, just not in defence at the minute. Wish we played a first team Should only play that many youngsters if we're against a lower league team. And I never want to see Mignolet and Moreno together unless it's at the airport, said Crosby Red. I'll give him a lift, Crosby Red, mate, if they need it. Do you know what? I have to say, I feel for the travelling cop as well that went down there today. Or went up there today. Anyway, they were magnificent as always. 5,000 Reds travelled to that game, which is truly fantastic for an away game in the FA Cup on a Monday night. I feel for them because they didn't get anywhere near the level of performance that they deserved for going there. Yeah, shocking for them. Klopp fancies Dubai at the end of January, to Paul Dunning. Just need to be knocked out by Bayern and concentrate on the league title. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about this today. Whatever you want to talk about the City game and losing that one, I mean, that's another conversation. There's no excuses to that. That was our best team and we were beaten on the day. Look at that differently. If you wanted to be in the FA Cup, I understand why you're upset. Obviously, I didn't care either way. I would have liked us to have gone on a bit of a cup run to allow the kids to get more minutes, but it doesn't affect how I view the league one bit. I'm very confident in this team. Let's not forget, in the league, we've conceded 10 goals in 21 games. Is it 21? 21 games. Manchester City are the first team to score 2. We've lost 1 game. We have by far the best defensive record in the league. Don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it. It's all good. You've got the Irish Pitbulls guarantee on that one. It's all good. Low Fat said City will beat Wolves Monday night. Don't see them beating us at ours. Either do I, mate. I think you'll beat Wolves as well. You've got a couple of tricky games though coming up, don't you, over the next 5? I think did I see an Arsenal or a Chelsea in your run in? Somebody put your next 5 games up. I think I might have it on my phone actually. No, I don't have my phone on me. Yeah, so you have a few tricky games coming up. And let's not forget, we're the ones here, guys, Liverpool fans, bear with me here, we're the ones with a 4-point lead at this moment in time. All of you, including me, would have taken a 4-point lead at the start of the Christmas period, and when we came out the other side of it, before Manchester City lost their 2 City games. You would have taken that lead. I'm sure you would have. Can't keep throwing away chances to win silverware, said Shane Stevenson. Farmers FC will win the FA Cup as usual. We don't need Gary Cahill from Chelsea, mate. He's absolutely shite. He's shite. I'd much rather play a kid than Gary Cahill. That's how bad he is at this moment in time. He's terrible. How was the game, lads? I've seen a bit of it on my phone. Origi with a belter. It was terrible. Somebody said Redmen called it the worst performance so far under Klopp. Could have been. It was terrible though. It was terrible. Again though, as terrible as we were the inside of a post away from coming out of that with a draw, because what's his face, Shaqiri had an absolute belter of a free kick off the inside of the post, left Ruddy completely beaten. We've been unlucky in the last 2 games with posts, and we haven't played too well, and we still only got beaten by 1 in both games, and we were still in both games. It's tough. Craig, what's going on with Keita? He never seems to be adapting. Niall, it can take a long time, mate, and Klopp said the same. Klopp agrees with you, and I understand what you're saying. He hasn't hit the heights that we'd expected or have hoped for, but it takes a while for some people to settle, and he's very young as well. What is Naby Keita, 22, 23 years of age? You're talking about a player that has 10 years left ahead of him at the highest level. Just give him some time, mate. I know it's frustrating, we all want him to hit the ground running, but he isn't quite where he is. Oh, don't you come in here a glass of Coke, ruining Coke for me with your silly little comments. I love fucking Coke and you can't come in and ruin it for me. I don't want to be kicking out somebody who has Coke in their title, mate, because I fucking love Coke. Craig, why are we after that Turkish kid when we can get a proven Werner for 10 million? One's a striker and one's a midfielder, mate. Different players. Arsenal and Chelsea. There you go. That's 2 difficult games, mate. Although, look, if you get through them, then, you know, you're going to be very confident, aren't you? January is always a time when we flop. I hate this feeling. Fuck off. Honestly, anybody that wants to come in as a Liverpool fan now and talk about falling apart or talk about throwing away the just fuck off. Just leave, turn around and leave right now. Because I couldn't be arsed, and I know the people that are in the chat here, the good people that are sensible, couldn't be arsed listening to you. So if you've come in to have a bitch and a moan about Liverpool falling apart, just turn around and go. Because I couldn't be bothered. I'm here to talk to people who have realistic expectations, people who back this team, people who know that we lost to a good Manchester City side, a very good Manchester City side, and our reserves lost today away in the Cup. Be realistic. Don't get drawn into this nonsense that opposition fans want you to fall into, that the media are going to try and pile on top of us, that Liverpool are caving in. Please don't get drawn into it, because you should know better than that. You should know that this manager will not allow that to happen. We are golden. Relax. It's all good. What else we got? Wolves are probably confident against City now. Look, for them to go to the Etihad and get a win, I wouldn't be thinking that way from our perspective. Honestly, we can only worry about us. If we keep winning and we keep doing what we need to do, nobody can catch us. We have the buffer. We have that 4-point lead at the top of the table. What else we got? Hoover seems to be short for a centre-back to me. I don't know what you think of that. Yeah, well, he is a right-back, Luke, by trade. As I said, he is being pushed into centre-back. I was so impressed with him today. His first half, he was at times he looked a little bit nervy, but of course he's going to be, isn't he? I'm very impressed with him though, Luke. And yeah, you're right, but he might grow a little bit. He might fill out a little bit, perhaps. I don't know how much growing he might do at 16, but... Lofat said, if we beat Liverpool at home, we can beat Arsenal and Chelsea at home. You can, mate, but at the same time, you lost to some silly teams as well, as we have before. So you and I both know nothing is a gimme in the Premier League anymore. It's just a really competitive league, and you have to be at it every single week to earn your 3 points. Some of the senior players need to take a look at themselves when they see a 16-year-old play so well. They play like, I'm not going to say the last word, but let's just say cabbages. Jurgen Klopp confirmed Dejan Lovren suffered a hamstring injury. Look, I said earlier on, we can't get a run out of our centre-backs. They're both, not Van Dijk, excuse me, we can't get a run out of our backup centre-backs. They're both just too soft. Both get muscle injuries, both have strains, knocks. It's just never ending. You just can't get them to play 10 games. Do you think we went into the game expecting to lose or genuinely believing that team could win? Hoping, Crosby Red. Hoping, I would say. I have a feeling that Klopp went into that game and he was hoping something could happen. We could pull something out and scrape it 1 or 2. Or that with 15-20 minutes to go, he might need to bring the boys off the bench to try and get a winner. I fully believe that he did not expect to be leaving the competition though. And look, there's 2 ways of looking at this. If you're somebody who wants to go far in the FA Cup, then you're pissed off right now with that team selection by Jurgen Klopp. If you're somebody like me who wouldn't have minded the cup run but is fully focused on the league, then you understand why Klopp picked that 11. But at the same time, you look at the performance and just think, nah, that wasn't good enough. From those 11, even though they are back up, it just wasn't good enough. Thiago Silva is only 6 foot and Cannavaro is 5'9", said Sean McDonald. Man, Cannavaro, what a fucking player he was. Wayne Rooney is the new Adam Johnson. Oh, madness. Craig, do you know when Gomez is set to return? I think Matip's a little bit ahead of him, as I said earlier on, but I think Gomez maybe 10 days. They're both well on the road back, which is a good thing. Guys, look, I don't think I've said it yet on the stream. Welcome to anyone that's new that's joining us for this. I wish it was after a better performance by the Reds, but thank you for joining us here on the channel. If it's your first time with the Anfield Agenda, welcome. Please post into the chat and let us know who you are. Say hello and introduce yourself to everybody in the chat. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please hit that subscribe button. As you can see, we are absolutely tearing it on the subscribers recently. It doesn't seem so long since we just hit 5k, and now here we are at 7,100 and something. We're 39 subscribers away from 7,200. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit the button and let's see if we can get there. Fuck it, it's optimistic, but you know what, we're the Reds, everything's optimistic. But as I said, welcome anyway. It's always great to have you guys in, and you guys know, the regulars, you know I love you. Thank you so much for your continued support. And we're going through a blip here, guys. We're going through a blip. We're going through it together. We'll get through it together and we'll come out the other side. There's many good nights ahead so far for us. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Craig, I think the main takeaway is that Liverpool have some very bright talents upcoming, said Niall. Good to see a sensible comment like that, mate. Thank you. 25 million for Alderweireld only next season, said Tony Montana. Weird fact, Lovren has only gone 8 consecutive games without getting injured. That's embarrassing, Sam, isn't it? Good fact, mate. Thank you for putting it in, Sam Roos. But it's fucking embarrassing from his point of view. We need stem cell therapy at Melwood, said Facility Time. I thought there was a lot of positives to come out of the game for us tonight regarding the youngsters, said John Hamilton. I like that, mate. Thank you. It's always good to look at it and find some positives. Yeah, if we can find any positives in any situation in life, it's worth trying to pull them out of it. I support United. Unlucky, but good luck with the league, I guess. Thank you, Kieran. That's really kind of you, mate. I appreciate it. I know it must have killed you to say it, mate, but look, I really appreciate you coming in and being so down to earth. Welcome to the channel. FA Cup doesn't hurt the league. That's a bad excuse if Klopp wins nothing. Look, if Klopp doesn't go on and win the league this year, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be disappointed. We've put ourselves in a position now where we should be able to go on and win it. If we don't win the league this year, we have to view this as a massive, massive disappointment. You've got to be realistic. Before the league started, we would have loved to be in this position. Now we've got ourselves in this position, and it's up to Klopp and those boys to see this out now. A nice Champions League run would be lovely as well. Hopefully we can get past Bayern Munich. It'll be a very difficult game over 2 legs, but you've got yourself into this position, guys. Keep that form going. Keep that belief in the dressing room, which I think they will. As I said, I fully believe we'll get there. I can hear my dog in the kitchen growling because there's a dog out the back barking. He's dying to get out there and bark at thin air. Guys, stop raging, said somebody else. Hassan LFC in your dreams. I don't know what that means. We'll come back from this, said Siobhan Watts. If this was our blip, I'm happy, said Stig. Nice one, Stig. Lovren's a twat, honestly, so was Moreno, but positive with the youngsters, said Sam Collier. Craig, Klopp needs to care about what these cups... Honestly, Klopp does care about the fucking cups. And Rebecca, why you come in with that attitude? Like, if we don't win that and Klopp will be the laughing stock of the league, fuck off then. Go support somebody else or spread your negative bollocks somewhere else, Rebecca. I don't get it. If we don't win the league, what about if we do win the league? Why not look at it from that sense? Instead of calling your manager the laughing stock of the league, fuck off. Honestly, go away. Another one that's been booted out. I think I've banned more people today than I ever have on the channel in the entire 10 months I've been on here. I absolutely don't get their nonsense. Our youngsters put the first team players to shame, said Crosby Red. We need to sign someone but won't. Honestly, if there's any United fans that are coming into the chat right now and you're giving it the big un and you're like, we're going to bottle everything, I get you. I promise you, any one of you guys have the bottle to put 500 quid on the table, I'll match it right now. I will match it right now. Any one of you out there that think Liverpool are going to bottle this, you lodge that 500 quid into an account and I fucking promise you right now that I'll match it, that we're going to win this league. You're all giving it the big un. But come on, put your money where your mouth is. Any one of you, you want to lodge 500 quid to an account, I'll happily do it. And when I win your 500 quid, I'll give it to charity. Because I've no interest in taking your fucking money. But you both know that you're only saying this to try and act like hard men. Anyone that's coming in with this, you know damn well, and I know damn well, why they're all coming in. Because they're fucking petrified. You're absolutely petrified of this Liverpool team. And to try and make yourselves feel better... And to try and make yourself feel better about your shitty club being in a shitty position with a fucking half a manager that got fired from Cardiff that you think is the next fucking saviour. You're coming in trying to give it to Billy Big Bollocks. It doesn't work. We don't care. I believe in my manager. I believe in my team, which is why I'm willing to stick 500 quid on the table. But you guys probably haven't got 500 quid between you because most of you are probably about 10. Which is why you're coming in giving it all this. Just adios. Be gone. I'd be more disappointed winning the FA Cup and blowing the league at this point. So would I, yeah. I mean, to be fair, great winning the FA Cup, but you know, if we didn't end up winning the league, it would be a massive, massive L. I've already put 5k Liverpool to win the league this year, and that's after the City game, said Pro Track. This loss makes us better set up for the title. Come on City. Look, I mean, you're welcome to come in and say, come on your club, come on City, absolutely, sound about that, that's banter. What have we got? He's lost his head. I really haven't, mate. If you knew what it was like on this channel, you'd know that that's a regular occurrence for me. Whether we're 10-0 up, 10-0 down, I'm an antichrist at the best of times. I have a temper. You will see that if you watch the channel. The Man United manager looks like the guy from The Hobbit. Is that when he's in his Liverpool jersey or when he's not in his Liverpool jersey? Because we all know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a massive Liverpool fan. Craig, Craig with the best comeback of all time? Look, they're all idiots. You know how I deal with trolls. Sometimes, most of the time I try and ignore them, but when you're getting so many coming in saying the same thing, I know it and you know it, that they haven't got the pair of balls on them to back up what they're saying. Paul Jones said, I'll put 500, make it a grand. Great, mate. My email address is anfieldagenda@outlook.com. Send me contact details and we'll sort this out. Happily. Because I guarantee you, Paul, you haven't got the money to put into the bank or you're talking out your arse. So if you want to do it, pal, I will match you pound for fucking pound. Put it into the bank and let's see it. Let's see the colour of your money. 25 and I don't even have 500 quid. Not looking for that bet though. Do you think Wolves will make City drop some points on Monday? Nah, I fully expect City to win that game at home against Wolves. They should be winning it. I have faith in QPR to get promotion. I love the people that think my head's gone. Honestly, if my head was gone, you would know it, because the computer screen would be through the television, the table would be flipped upside down, the ring light would be smashed. Because trust me, I have a temper. So when I lose my head, it will be gone. But it isn't. I'm absolutely calm. I'm just frustrated with all these little I wish I could look at these people face to face. That's what frustrates me. I'd love to be able to have this conversation with somebody rather than just bottler go. You know what I mean? It gets frustrating at times. I support Liverpool. The €300 was a joke. As well as buying class players, we need to develop them too. Good to see the youngsters getting a chance, said Boss Mega. Ole is a Souser, said Facility Time. Man United FC Gamer said, good stream, keep it up. I liked good to keep up with scores. No hate here. Not a big issue going out of the FA Cup for yous. Rather win the Premier League anyway. Plus Wolves are a decent side. Thank you very much, mate. I mean, you're the type of opposition fan that I will talk to all day. Yeah, so thank you for coming in with your kind words. Look, there's no one saying we wouldn't have wanted to win a cup. Of course you would. Everybody wants to win every cup that they're involved in. But at the end of the day, there is a bigger fish to fry for us, and that is the fucking Premier League. Now, if we don't win the Premier League, you'll see me losing my fucking shit, I promise you. That wasn't even a proper squad, said Hassan. Rio Ferdinand's a United fan as well. United think they're back because they've played shit teams so far. Look, I don't even want to be disrespectful to them. I just want them to keep in their own lane. And if they're going to come in and they have a comment like that gentleman a few comments ago where he has something to say or a point to say that actually makes sense or that can contribute to the chat, I'll sit here for an hour to chat to him. But if you're going to just come in and post nonsense, just fuck off. Like, what's the point? Get a life. I hope Ole manages to take points off City just for the bants. Think Liverpool, the Liverpool player that gave the ball away for the first Wolves goal, was he under 22 years of age? No, his name was fucking James Milner. He certainly wasn't under 22. Why the bad language? Because it's a football channel, pal, and when I'm excited or when I'm frustrated, or that's how I express myself. So yeah, look, I understand bad language isn't for everybody. I fully understand that and I fully respect that, and that is why it's in our stream notes that we use bad language, because I know sometimes kids can come on and stuff like that. So I know it isn't for everybody and I do understand, but maybe I'm just not intelligent enough to express myself in a better way. But I you know, that is me and I'm not going to change. But shame the kids won't get another run out, but it'll give Klopp a break to focus on the run in. I love the QPR team. I have faith in them. Do you know what? Whoever you support, it's good that you have faith in your team, whether you're supporting somebody in the Premier League, in the League of Ireland, the Northern Division, whatever the fuck it might be, or the Northern Conference, or Northern, what is it these days? The Northern Premier is the conference, isn't it? Northern Southern Premier. I do like listening to people's opinions on the match, even if we're opposing one, said Fabian Perry. So do I. I love hearing people's opinions on football when it's genuinely about football. And like our friend there, Lofa, he comes in, he's a Manchester City fan. Fantastic, really good opinions. Some United fans come in from time to time. Lovely chatting with them. They've got some really good opinions as well. And we as Liverpool fans like to find out how opposition fans are viewing things, how United fans look at Liverpool at the minute, vice versa. It's always good to get another person's perspective. But what is shit is trolls, because we all don't like trolls in life because they're just waste of space. And every time a troll comments, it takes away from my eye line of reading someone's comment that, you know, I actually want to respond to. Wolves played their best team and took it more seriously than us. Said Claire, bigger fish to fry. What else have we got? Unlucky, hopefully you'll win it this year, said Killer Blaze. What do you think the Brighton score will be? Honestly, I'm expecting a response from Liverpool today. I'm thinking 3-0. But if we don't go out there and tear them a new one, I'm going to be really fucking disappointed. Any new transfer news? Not that I've seen, but Ferno or anyone else in the chat, if anyone has transfer gossip, I mean, put it in, because you know I fucking love a transfer. Any news on Origi going out, by the way? Because we know Fulham are interested at 15 million. And you know what? At 15 million right now, I'd cash in on Divock Origi. I think it's Fabinho and Virgil versus Brighton, said Stephen Byrne. We're top of the league, which I think some people are forgetting at this point, which is crazy. Man United FC Gamer said, we're all football fans, we support our own teams, good to chat with opposition fans. That's the way I see it as well, pal. First and foremost, we are all fans of football. We love it. And sometimes I think as fans, we don't support other fans enough. We've said this before. When you look at United went over to Spain and got manhandled by the security in Sevilla. Liverpool, the same. It happened to Spurs this year, I think, in Europe as well. And sometimes we need to work together as fan groups and stuff to make sure that this shouldn't be happening. It's not all about hating everybody. I mean, that's not what this should be about. We're first and foremost fans of football. We love the sport. Yes, banter aside, and when we play each other, we'll want to fucking hammer each other. That's natural. But sometimes I just think people are too short-sighted and they don't look at the bigger picture. And when I hear about Manchester United fans or Spurs fans, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans being manhandled at games by security staff in Spain and nothing being done about it, and them being delayed to the match and missing the match and getting battered with batons, that shit makes me sick. And I don't care if it's United or Arsenal. I want to help those people and I want to get behind them and I want to spread the word about what's happened to them. And that's, sometimes I think people are just that little bit short-sighted. But thankfully, for every idiot, there's another 5 people who are brilliant and that come in, have lovely opinions, know how to banter in the correct way, and, you know, put something positive out into this world rather than just being a cunt. Craig, just admit it, you're mad for a fight. I know by the head in you. Luke, look at me. I'm honestly calm, mate. You know, you guys don't really know me in real life, because if I have a horrible temper, I have to be honest. It doesn't come out very often, thankfully. But if I do lose it, I really do lose it. But thankfully, and as I've got older, I've learned to calm myself down. I get to a certain level and then I kind of cut myself off. The trolls have been allowed to stay up late by mummy, said Facility Time. Can't wait for Salah VVD Firmino to play against Brighton, said Blitz. Sturridge is anonymous, said the Flat Earth Pharaoh. He wasn't great at all. He really wasn't. My grammar is awful. That's okay, Kieran, mate. We're not the grammar police in here. Unless you're a troll, then I kind of have a go with them, because it's an easy thing to get them on. But, mate, look, if I can read out your comment, doesn't matter. If I can make it out, I'll have a go with it. I hate when fans delete their messages when they slag their own teams off. I try not to read too many deleted messages, mate. Man UFC fans of Valencia getting beat up was a disgrace. Absolutely. Any football fan that goes to any foreign country to support their club that gets manhandled by security or beaten up by opposition fans, we need to support them, because it could just as easily be one of ours next. I'm a City fan, but honestly, Liverpool need to strengthen up this transfer window, otherwise it's risky. The pressure is on both teams. May the best team win. I don't honestly, mate, I don't know where I am on the transfer thing. I understand your points, and we are looking a little bit bare boned at the minute at centre back, but I'm not somebody that believes Jurgen Klopp will look to the short term to bring somebody in just because we need a centre back for 4 or 5 weeks. I would absolutely agree that there are positions we need to strengthen in. We need the number 10 or a wide forward, and we certainly need a utility fullback. And like you, mate, may the best team win. It's going to be an interesting title run in. We're blessed to be watching two fantastic sides that can, just do fucking things that baffle me at times. The teams are so good. I don't want to say best of luck to you because I want to win, but may the best team win, like you've said, and thank you for your comment. I love Liverpool so much, said Zarek Africa. Origi got good goal, but for me, someone the size of him, he's very bad at holding the ball up, said Skipper Dog. What else have we got? Mentality of players around Origi and Sturridge, the reason they don't shine, don't play to their strengths. Yeah, on that one though, I understand what you're saying, Daily, but I also think that we have a system and it's up to those players to fit into our system as well. But I mean, there is a point to what you're saying. Craig, Liverpool have apparently put a £45 million bid in for Adrian Rabiot. Why would we do that when he's a free transfer and he's gone to Barcelona, and I think he's already agreed that deal? So that one, nah, he's got 6 months left on his deal and he's going to Barca. It's definitely not going to happen. I don't mind Liverpool losing, but I do mind is the lack of effort thereof by some Liverpool players. This was a chance for some players to impress and it was let down. Very good comment, Zaya. Yes, spot on, mate. They didn't put in a shift today. They didn't stamp. They didn't knock on the manager's door and say, look, Gaffer, I put in a fucking shift there. How am I fixed for the next game? I want to start. None of them did that today. The kids, though, do you know what? The kids were probably the only semi-shining light of this. I thought Camacho was very, very, very good. Hoover, at 16 years of age, look, as I said, if I was 16, I'd probably be rolling around on the ground there crying with nerves. I thought he was very good. Curtis Jones, he drifted in and out of the game a bit, but he was okay. I'd rather support a club that doesn't win but plays with passion. Anyway, Liverpool are, well, to be fair, we all want a club that wins as well. Let's be honest about that. It's nice to play with passion, it's nice to play attacking football, but it's also nice to put a bit of silverware in the cabinet. Maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain can be that left forward or right forward we're looking for, said Cameron. Yeah, he could be, but mate, I have a feeling he's going to pick up an injury when he comes back. And I know people hate me saying that, but it happens. When you're coming back from a really, really long time out like he is with an ACL, often at times you come back and whether you're shifting onto your other leg to try and protect it a bit or something, that there can often be a little muscle strain or a little setback for a few weeks. I'm not talking about something that's going to put him back out for a long time. I'm talking 2 or 3 weeks, 10 days, something like that. So I'm not putting any pressure on him. As much as I'd love him to come back and be right ready for us for March, April, May time, I just don't want to put that much pressure on him. I just want him to be able to ease back in because next season is when we're going to see the best of him, just like we did last year because he was brilliant when he came in. How many first team players did we start today? Fabinho, but in the wrong position. Lovren, Milner. Was that it? I think that was it. Oh, Keita maybe. Yeah, Keita I suppose. You could say Keita as well. 3, possibly 4, Claire, is all I can think of there. Your young right back kid was good, said Daniel Hogan. He was very good, Camacho. I was very impressed with him. Fabinho had a decent game as well at centre back. That dude can just fucking play anywhere. He's just class. Absolutely class. The kids put them to shame, said Arrogant123, or Arrogant123, excuse me. We need creativity in that side. Big Shaqiri, yes, but if you look at Manchester City's team, most of the bench can get into any Premier League team. We need a 10. I'd agree with that as well. I said when Shaqiri came in, and I stand over it now, I'm very happy with the guy. I think he can do really well, but he's not of the level that we need to fill that position. He's what we need to come off the bench. We do need a Fekir, a Dybala, somebody of that ilk. I'm not going to say a fucking Coutinho, but somebody of that level to come in there and make things tick for us. We need another superstar. I hate to say it, but we do. We need somebody, a real baller, to come in there and to play between the lines, to pull players around, to open up space for other players to run through, to give the midfielders something to work off. there's not many of them around in the world though, but you know what, we do need to get one. No matter what we say and think, as good as Shaqiri is, and he's been better than I've expected, I have to be honest, he's not of that level. Of my opinion, he's just not at that level. 2 starters maybe, said Pepper Reds. Sean McDonald, mate, you can keep commenting. I'm just not going to read them out, mate. So you can keep putting your shitty little comments in all you want. I'm just going to bypass them. How is Alberto Moreno a professional footballer? I'll never know. He's dog shit, said Owen Farrelly. Well impressed with Fabinho tonight, said Facility Time. Excuse me, mate, for butchering your name. Guys, look, we're 35 subscribers away from 7,200. So if you are watching, please do hit that button. We've got an hour to go on tonight's stream, so loads of time left. So if I haven't gotten to your comment yet, or you've anything else you want to say, please do feel free to put it in the chat. Do you think we'll win against Arsenal in the FA Cup? United fan. It's a tough one, mate. It's going to be a belter of a game. I actually enjoyed your league game against them this season. I think United, honestly, hand on heart, I think they have something over Arsenal. I think they'll beat them. I do, honestly. I think they'll beat Arsenal, even though you're away. I think, is that right? I always think United have Arsenal's number. So yeah, I probably think you'll go through, mate. So concerned if Robbo gets injured, said Owen Farrelly. Fucking hell, yeah. Him and Van Dijk are just 2 people we cannot afford to get injured at all. Oh god, I don't even want to think about it. We'd be fucking screwed. Good point there from Kadeem King. I think the number 10 role is dying. Yeah, look, I'm trying to think of those players, mate, as you've said. And you're looking back, you're looking at David Silva, players of that ilk. You're looking at fucking Dybala now is one of the only ones I could really see, but even at that, he's more of a forward. Maybe it is, and maybe football's cyclical as well, and the style that people play changes. Yeah, so it's a fair point. It's one to certainly get you thinking. Camacho was decent today. He'll be a top player, said Claire. LFC Gamer, honestly, mate, can we cut out the fucking Sol Bamba love? I mean, that's at least the 8th time you've put that into the chat today. Is Lovren first team at the minute? VVD and Gomez for me. No, he's not. He's 3rd choice, I'd say. I think that's probably fair. Liverpool are top, nothing funny about that, which is true. They are top, and no amount of saying we're falling apart or anything can change that. We lost 1 fucking league game. 1. If this is Liverpool falling apart, then I'm okay with it. If it's losing 1 fucking league game. I have a question for the Barca fan. Thoughts on Coutinho? Again, I'd like to hear that as well, if you want to share your thoughts, mate. We've risked it tonight, said Rick. We need silverware this season, and to do that now we've got to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Still think we'll edge the Premier League, but imagine if we had an FA Cup to go with it. It was a risk. That's a fair comment. That team selection was a risk, and Klopp hoped we'd come through it. Because he definitely wanted to get through. I'm not going to lie. Of course, every manager wants to win everything that they're in, but it was a risk, and it's a risk that didn't come off. Man United and Spurs could be interesting, said Qatari. Bit harsh on Shaqiri there, Craig. Not at all. That's my opinion of him. There's a reason why he is where he is, mate. I just said I like the guy. I said that I think he'll do well. He'll be a good impact player. But just, can you honestly tell me, David, that you think he's up there with the Nabil Fekirs of this world, the Felipe Coutinhos of this world? That's the level of footballer that we need. Although I don't want Coutinho, I have to say. Fuck Coutinho, the little snake. But that's where I'm coming from. Do you honestly believe that he's at that level, mate? He's a good player, and I'm glad he's at the club. At 13 million, he was a no-brainer. I just don't think he's at the level to bring us on. That's just my opinion, though. And look, if you support him, I'm not going to knock you, pal. I want everyone to support their players. Fabinho was sweating like a priest in a confession box. He was the only one to put in any effort, in my opinion, said Luke. Isco would sort out our problems, said Jack Ryan. What's your starting lineup for the Brighton game? Right, let's go with that one now. Are we assuming that Dejan's injured? Okay, if we're assuming Dejan's injured, Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Robertson, Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum. This is where I'm struggling now. I'm struggling to go with either Shaqiri or Keita. because neither of them really played that well today. I'd probably go with Cahill and then the front three. That's my guess at a team. But yeah, that's what I'd go with anyway. And again, I'd love to know what your team selection would be for Brighton. I have a feeling that Roberto Moreno can't even play with his own ball, said Rod. He's got all the skill in the world, Moreno. He just hasn't got the discipline or the footballing knowledge. No, maybe knowledge isn't the right word. He hasn't got the tactical discipline or the concentration to really make it. That's what lets him down massively. Going forward, he's got an amazing left foot on him. He can go past the player. He can cross the ball. He just can't defend. He dives in, leaves himself exposed, gets caught out of position. Yeah, he must be a nightmare to manage. Craig, would you take Coutinho back? Honestly, I don't want him back, but if he was to come back, would I be pissed off? No. I'd be angry-ish because of the way he left, but from a purely footballing perspective, would Coutinho improve us? Well, yes. So I'd probably get over my anger as soon as he sticks one in the top corner, mate. So yeah, in that sense, putting aside my pig-headedness, yes, probably. But my instinct would be to say no. But if I'm being honest, I think we're all fickle at times as football fans. And as much as I'd say no, if he stuck one in top corner against Manchester United at Old Trafford, I'm jumping up and celebrating. Who should be sold in the current squad? Lovren, Moreno, Origi, Lallana. I'm still baffled that Kleiny went out on loan, by the way. That makes just completely baffled at that one. Who else? Sturridge, although he's gone, so he won't really be sold. Yeah, that's about it that I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, Markovic, obviously, but again, his contract's running down. Coutinho to United, that is something that somebody mentioned to me earlier on. You know what, look, obviously I don't want him to go there for many, many reasons, but it would make fucking sense if you're a United fan. But they need defenders as well. Just watched Klopp's post-match interview, said Shane. He seemed lost for words. Seems like he was forced to play that midfield with last-minute injuries. Thoughts on Lallana? I want him sold ASAP. He's finished, said Skipperdog. Look, my thoughts on Lallana are that he's a good, honest pro. He had a very good period for Liverpool, and when he came in, he was what we needed. I thought he lifted his game for a season as well, but the team has gone a little bit past him with our level of performances. I think injuries are starting to catch up with him. He's getting, what is he, 29 now? Something like that, 30. I think we've bypassed Adam Lallana. I don't want to be harsh on him because he's a very good, skilled, honest pro that I think can still have a good Premier League existence, just not with us. I don't think he's at the level anymore. But I don't want to be disrespectful of him because he's very capable. Seems like he wants to transfer here, that guy Omar. He's one of those players like Daddy Moses in the last window that none of us had ever fucking heard of. And then he comes in, it gets linked to us, and we're all clamouring for him. Be honest, none of us had heard of him 2 weeks ago. Some more comments. Excuse me, guys, I'm trying to get back through your comments. Too many injury prone players at the club, said Colin Kavanagh. Thoughts on the Coutinho to United rumours? If I'm a United fan and I'm linked with Coutinho, I'm fucking happy. Put it that way. Of course you would be. You'd have to be. Yeah, he's like Juan Mata on steroids for you guys. If you brought him in. If I'm a Liverpool fan, which I am, and he goes to United, I'm fucking bulling. I'm not gonna hide. I mean, he's absolutely spat in our faces again if he does that. But if you're a United fan, look, let's be honest, you'd be licking your lips at the thoughts of Coutinho coming in. Seems like he wants to transfer to here. We've gone through that one. We obviously don't have the squad to win the FA Cup and the league. I'm excited for the Spurs game. We played 5 average sides in this is our first test under Ole. I'm interested to see how you guys get on in that game as well, MUFC gamer. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game of football. And if I was a United fan and we lost it, I wouldn't be losing my fucking mind either, because it's a tough place to go. it is a test for you guys. I would take a draw if I was United at this moment in time in that game and be happy. But you can go there and win. The Portuguese team owned Liverpool. What the fuck is... What? Oh, yeah, sorry. It took me a minute to click that. Just for a mate, sorry. Yeah, they were a better team today. No excuses for me. Wolves deserved the win. They wanted it more. They look like a team that were better organised than us. And I've no sour grapes for me against Wolves whatsoever. I wish them the best. Can't wait for Oxlade-Chamberlain to be back, said D. Fitz. James Rodriguez. Wasn't he linked to Arsenal in this window? Or am I absolutely imagining that? I'm sure he was linked to Arsenal in this window. Cahill was dreadful, said Paul McCann. He wasn't great. I can't argue with you. He wasn't great. Neither was James Milner, Origi, Sturridge. The list could go on, mate. How did Lallana not get into the team? He must have been injured. I mean, he must have. There must be a reason he wasn't in that squad today. Somebody said they watched the post-match interview. Did Klopp say anything about Lallana picking up an injury or anything? Obviously, I haven't had a chance to watch it because I went from the last stream straight onto this one. But I'd imagine he must. Something must be up because he would have been in the squad. Liam Granby said we need to get rid of dead wood like Sturridge, Moreno and Mings and Origi. That Dutch kid looks decent. Reminds me of a young VVD. So relaxed on the ball and loves beating players. That was brilliant. That little run he made, I was so happy to see that happen. That Ruben Neves has the moves in him, said just for a gaming. He's a quality player. He is. Seen him back at his time with Porto when we were linked to him under Brendan Rodgers all the way back then. He was talked about as a superstar and he took a gamble going to Wolves, but he's fit in the Premier League and do you know what? Fair play to him. Craig, would you play that as a 4-2-1-3 with Keita being in the hole or as a 4-3-3 with my formation? I would go as a 4-2-3-1 and I play Salah probably through the centre. If I was to play Shaqiri, I would play him, Mane and Firmino in behind Salah, and have Fabinho and Gini just playing not the holding role but in behind them. So yeah, I'd probably go 4-2-3-1. But look, that's the same as your 4-2-1-3, just flipped around really. Only Jesus can save Moreno now, said Rod on a good day. Moreno has the skills but no understanding of the game. Fuck the FA Cup, said Stephen Richards. How did that defeat look on 65-inch TV, Stephen, mate? Because it looked fucking shocking here on my 55. Alisson, Trent, Robbo, VVD, and if Gomez is still out, I'd love to see Hoover play again. I don't know, mate. Fucking Hoover playing away at Bristol in the league. Or Brighton, sorry, in the league. I don't know, that might be a bit too much for him. If we were at home, perhaps, I don't know about away though, and that would be a big game for him. Moreno, no. We don't want you, it's time to go, said Joanne Fisher. Some more of your comments. Loads of comments tonight, guys. Thank you to everyone that's come in and joined us for a little chat. I know it was a fucking disappointing result, but thankfully we seem to have got rid of a lot of the trolls, which is great. I'm left here with nice people, which is beautiful. Joseph is obviously a City fan. Best of luck to you, pal. Craig James Pierce tweeted that Lallana had a minor knock. Thank you, Niall. Lallana had an injury. Brilliant. Liverpool has to win against Brighton. Yes, 100%. Nothing but a win is acceptable in that game. A draw, not worth a wank. We have to go there, put in a performance, and let the world know that we're not going through any blip. We lost against a very good City team. We played a reserve team in the Cup that didn't work out. But we've got to go to Brighton and absolutely fucking batter them. And I expect a massive reaction. I really expect them to destroy Brighton 3-0 at least. That's they have to. If they want to see themselves as league champions, they have to go down there and lay down a marker and say, we lost to a good City team, but we're fucking here and we're not going anywhere. Crosby Red said if Coutinho goes to another Premier League team, we'll give him a Sterling-esque welcome. Didn't take long for him to get sick of his lifelong dream. Yeah, must be fucking tough. He should have stayed here. There's no two ways about it. He should have stayed here and he would have been idolised. Absolutely fucking idolised. But he backed himself to go to Barca and for whatever reason it hasn't worked out. Now I wouldn't rule out the manager getting the chop at Barca before Coutinho goes, and the new manager coming in and playing Coutinho somewhere that suits him a little bit better. Craig, I left £40 in the cash machine and forgot about it. I went to Asda security and they said someone stole it. They had mug shots and the police are trying to find the bastard. Yeah, look, mate, sometimes in life somebody would find that 40 quid and they'd walk in and hand it into the desk, and other people are going to take it and walk away, buddy. It's the luck of the draw. I've lost my wallet on a couple of occasions. I've got it back once or twice, and I've lost a whole week's wages at one point. It's the luck of the draw, I'm afraid, my friend, and could have been worse, mate. I know 40 quid is tough, but hopefully you've got some good karma coming your way, pal. I'm sorry, but Moreno has to go, said Ben. From bad games, then talking crap about the club. He isn't fit for the club. Yeah, Lallana, the minor knock. He's made of glass. We need to recall Harry Wilson back, said Siobhan. I don't think we can, Siobhan. I'm sure I've read something about that. Again, though, I could be wrong. Klopp said pre-game Lallana had a setback yesterday, not too serious but enough to take him out of today. Also said post-match Lovren wasn't supposed to play, but Hendo had a knock, so he had to instead. Fucking hell, there you go. The FA Cup, the less games to play, we need to win the Premier League, said Tony. Lallana going out on loan, that's why he was pulled from the squad, said Derek. That would be interesting to see, actually, if that is the case. I mean, Klopp's saying it's a knock, but you know, that's what he would say if he was going out on loan as well, so let's wait and see what happens there. Hi Craig, LFC fan from Indonesia, welcome. Is it Ifan? Excuse me if I mispronounced your name, buddy, but welcome to the channel. Pleasure to have you with us. Don't think it's kind of disrespectful that Klopp has overlooked more older centre-back like Phillips and Masterson for a 17-year-old. Firstly, he's 16, and secondly, one of those two guys had an injury and the other one is only coming back from a long-term, I think, heel or calf injury. So I know he does rate both very highly. Demolade, I know he rates Connor Masterson particularly fucking highly. And like you, buddy, I was fully expecting one of those two to be in the team today, but for whatever reason, I can't give you an answer, mate. They're two good players though, and I think of the two, Phillips is probably more likely to make it through, but let's just wait and see. Craig, would you play the three boys with the A team for the next game? Would you play the three boys with the A team? Which three boys? I'm lost, Kigby. Oh, the three young kids tonight? No, not at all. Good to get them in, get them first team experience. Hoover has a fucking long career ahead of him. I'm sure we'll see him involved a lot in pre-season with a view towards next year, perhaps coming in, and I'd be interested to see if his natural position is going to be as a centre back for us or as a cover as a full back. We've not had the word Mon used in here, please. What? I'm lost. I've lost. Oh, yes, sorry, Joanne, that word. Yes. No, don't use the word Mon, by the way. It is pretty fucking disrespectful. And look, I say things at times that I shouldn't as well. I understand that. I apologise if I ever offend anybody. Beyond calling you a cunt, which is, I'm not going to change. Because if I think you are one, that's what I'm going to call you. But when it comes to not mental health, but when it comes to intelligence and stuff like that, yeah, just please try and be a little bit careful with what you say. Wait, what else have we got? Maybe it was Bogdan in a Moreno costume, said Rod. Can't rule that one out. We need Oxlade-Chamberlain, said Pepper Red. Get Hippier back, said Gabriel Adam. What a fucking centre back he was, by the way. Wow. As long as we get 3 points against Brighton, I'll be happy, said Dawood. Time Crisis said we should go for Tagliafico from Ajax to strengthen our right back position. We defo need another full back, definitely. Whether it's a left back or right back or someone to play both sides. I agree with everybody who said we should go and get a full back. Where else have we got? Wolves are playing City next week. We've got Brighton and we'll beat them 3-0 away, said Stephen Byrne. Coutinho using United to get more game time, said Denzel. Can see a 4-0 win at the weekend, Liam Granby. Let's just focus on the league, said Joseph Lynch. We've not much fucking choice now, buddy. It's the league and then the Champions League come the end of February. Looked like Liverpool did not want to win or get a draw. I don't know. We looked like it at the end that we wanted to go there and get a point. Or points, do you hear me? A fucking replay. Barca doing great. They are. I mean, absolutely top of the league. That's a shitty league this year, though. Real Madrid have absolutely fallen apart, and they're still probably going to get top four. They're just fucking losing every second week, and they'll probably still get into the top four. That's how weak it is at the minute. Look like now I've done that one. Most of Barcelona players want Valverde to continue as manager. Thank you very much for that one. Always good to get an insight from somebody who watches the club every week. Coutinho can do one, said the Wood. Coutinho was injured. Thank you very much. Coutinho leaving was a blessing in disguise. It's with that money that we've improved our defence so much, said Odog. Which is true. I mean, we've got to be fair about that as well. We have massively improved since he went. And as much as we don't want to hear it, at times selling a superstar, if you've got the right man who has the right vision, can bring in players like Van Dijk, Fabinho, Keita, who hasn't hit the heights yet, I know, but in the long term can benefit. Ideally, you just want to keep them all there, don't you? What's your favourite United versus Liverpool game? I don't know. When we went to Old Trafford and gave them a spanking and scored 4, probably that one. What else we got? Barca have a very particular style. Coutinho likes to play quick forward balls. That's not the Barca way. Would take him back in a heartbeat. At the end of the day, he left for Barca, not a rival, said the cable guy. Crosby Red said, I want Barca in the next round of the Champions League just so we can knock Coutinho and Suarez out and smile. Why would Klopp get sacked if Liverpool don't win the league? He's not getting sacked. There's not a fucking hope in hell that Jurgen Klopp is getting sacked if we don't win the league this year. Not a chance in hell. Moreno got a knock on the head VVD after the game and will be out for the remainder of the season. Whoop whoop. I know it's jokes, mate, but whoop whoop nonetheless. Anyone who thinks that our manager's getting the sack, just do one, because it's just not happening. Nobody's going to sack that man. He's a fucking superstar. Cade has not done it for me. He's done nothing wrong necessarily, but would expect him to stand out. Again, Super QWERTY, he hasn't settled in yet. Relax. If we're still having this conversation next season, then yes, mate, fully agree with you, but give him time. Give him time to settle in. Robbo's still jogging around Mothercare, chomping to play Brighton. I'm from Holland. I've been grown up as a Scouser. My family's from Liverpool, said Aaron. Welcome, Aaron. Should have given Bobby Duncan a chance instead of Sturridge, said Ann Meadows. That young man has a very, very, very big future. Bobby Duncan, I mean, he was scoring a ridiculous amount of goals this year. He scored 20 or something already for the underage teams. Brilliant. Jersey Boy, how are you? Great to have you back. Guys, we're only 28 subscribers away, amazingly, from 7,200. So if you're watching, you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, be a legend and do so. Fucking hell, do you remember the other day, like, what was it, yesterday? Was it yesterday or the night before that we were just hoping to get to 7k, and now a day later and we're nearly at 7,200. Fuck, I can't believe it. I have little targets in my head that I hope for the channel to get to, and by targets I don't mean numbers, I mean other channels that I try to catch. Not necessarily all Liverpool channels, but they're nice little goals and targets. So I really in my head celebrate every 50 subscribers, like I do a little inside my head dance. So look, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so and let this little man inside my head loose again. Could have won the league in 13-14 if it hadn't been banned for nearly half the games. Evening Craig, evening all, late to the stream, said Brian Morrissey. Really impressed with Jones, Camacho and Hoover tonight. Some real quality there. Positives. Yes, Brian, mate, look, I'm always happy to take a positive from this game. Yeah. And for those of you, by the way, earlier on who said my head was gone, I really wasn't. I just fucking hate trolls. I hate them with a passion. And I know I shouldn't bite a lot of the time, and I've been trying my best this year not to, but the bottler thing is just a ridiculous comment. It's absolutely ridiculous when you've lost one game. So I apologise earlier on if I was a little bit snappy, but hopefully I wasn't at any of our regulars. I mean, I tried not to be. Hippie a water player, £2.50 and a bag of pork scratchings. La Liga equals football in the sun, to them UFC Gamer. Well, we've boosted Wolves' confidence, who have to go and play City next. There is that, mate. Brent Wallhead, there is that. So you thank us later. I never thought of that, actually. That's a belter. Yeah, we've done our best. We've sent them into the game against City full of confidence. I mean, there you go. We've helped ourselves there by losing today. What happens with Woodburn at Sheffield United? He was supposed to be the next big thing. He came back with an injury, David. He didn't get much of a look in at Sheffield United because they started the season so well, and it was hard for him to force his way in. But then he picked up an injury that forced him to be sent back to Liverpool, mate. And like you, I'm a little bit surprised by his lack of progression. But again, this can sometimes happen with young kids, and I wouldn't write him off just yet. I remember that Torres had Vidic on toast. He was unbelievable that game. Torres was unplayable. Hey big man, we're a bit short at centre back. What do you think of Cahill on a short term loan? Do you hate Chelsea? No, I'd say no, Pat. I'd rather play a kid there than bring in Gary Cahill. I understand people why they'd want it, but here's my argument back against it. Why give the game time to somebody who has no future whatsoever, either for us or in his career, and not give that game time to somebody like Masterson or Nat Phillips or Kiana Hoover, who is going to develop, and we will gain as a club from him getting that experience. That's why I'm always against bringing in an older player on a short-term loan. I don't think it would work for us. Maybe some clubs, yes, it will work for. I just don't see it working for us though. I could be wrong. It's not Klopp's fault if the players can't score. Kind of is at times though, Gabriel, mate. It is his fault when he sends out a specific 11. As much as, yes, the fault lies on the players a lot of the time, manager always has to take some responsibility as well. And Klopp said his hands were a little bit tied today with regards to selections, players picking up little knocks. And he had to rest certain players like Van Dijk and Robertson. He just had to. If we sell Markovic in January, we can buy another 2 free transfers with the money, said Stephen Byrne. I was wondering where you were going with that one, pal. Remember Coutinho's at, what's this? Grenadier? He was shy there. We should have known better. I don't know what I've lost. You want that comment, mate? I'd honestly be surprised to hear that Coutinho's trying to leave Barcelona. From what I've seen, he's played really well, especially in the first season. Remember the time we got Joe Cole? What happened to him? He was world class at Chelsea. Same with Harry Kewell. When we got in Harry Kewell at Liverpool, I swear to God, I thought we'd made it. I thought that's it now. Our left side is sorted out. I'd wanted Damien Duff for so long, and getting him in, I just thought that's it now. We're fucking golden, and it just didn't get the same Harry Kewell that there was at Leeds. And when we got Joe Cole in as well, and we'd sent off, who was it that we sent to Chelsea the other way? The guy from Israel. What's his name again? Fucking drawing a blank. Oh my fucking God, how can I not think of his name? Oh my God, sorry, I've drawn a blank. You know who I'm talking about. How do I not think of his fucking name? Little fucking pale faced. Let me scroll down. Benayoun, yes, Yossi Benayoun, thank you. Yeah, I thought we got the better end of that deal when we got him in, and I think we got 5 million quid for Benayoun at the time, and we got Joe Cole on a free. I thought, oh, we've done them there. We've absolutely went and done Chelsea, and Joe Cole was fucking shite. If we sell Markovic in January, we can buy another 2. I've done that one. Remember the time we got Joe Cole? Done that one. Naby's all over by the end of January. Oh, all over it by the end of January. Sorry, I didn't know where you were going. Liverpool should be challenging for everything, not just the Premier League, said Sean Walker. Yes, but yeah, I get where you're coming from, Sean. Yeah, it's tough for me to say otherwise, but when you haven't won anything, mate, in a while, and you particularly haven't won the league title in 29 years now, you can't take any chances. You have to try your best to try and get that one in the bag. And if this was next year and we already had a league title in the bag, then I think we'd look at this a little bit differently as a club. It's all or nothing at this rate, isn't it? Craig, just do the maths and formula. Current subscribers plus the amount of subscribers you want. I don't know what you mean. How is that going to help me get there though? I know the subscribers I want. Obviously, I want 100 million subscribers like everybody else has a YouTube channel. What do you mean by do the maths? You've lost me on that one. It's not that simple, mate. I could go onto Twitter and grow a Twitter account so quickly. But on YouTube, you got to earn every subscriber. That's why I appreciate them all so much. I personally feel that Klopp threw it away. He's more experienced than us. For sure, he knows this team wasn't going to do it. Said it got cool. We're overachieving in the league. People asking Klopp to get the sack. Pathetic. I've yet to see anybody that wants Klopp to be sacked realistically that I've seen, honestly. If I did, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves straight away. You've been trying all year, Craig. It's only been 7 days. That's a fair point, mate. It's a fair point. Although I look at my life in seasons, Kyle, more than years, mate. Yeah, when I say year, I usually mean season. But no, you are right. It's only been a few days. Always love the streams, but can't believe I wasted a 6-pack and a pack of no-dose pills on that performance. Yeah, sorry, Rod. But there's more 6-packs to come in your life, though. There were loads of valid talking points to discuss. I'd have booted them too. Well, they done Spurs, said on Meadows. Craig, how many barrels of ale will you consume if we win number 19 this year? Not a single one, Niall, mate. I'm not a drinker, pal. We'll be in Liverpool on the last game of the season, so it's going to be a working trip for me. Hopefully we're celebrating the league, but it'll be all work and very little play. I'll be in Liverpool for 24 hours and I will be filming for every fucking hour of that 24 hours and meeting people and hopefully celebrating now. I don't drink though, so no, probably none. Looking forward to the Brighton game. Think we'll give them a hiding. Said scraping Irish. Or scrapping Irish, sorry. So do I, mate. I'm expecting a big performance and somebody's getting their ass fucking handed to them. Kiana Hoover. Our Fabinho can play at centre back, don't forget that. But for other positions, do you think we'll go back into the market? I want us to. Don't get me wrong, Louis. I mean, I want Liverpool to make a signing like everybody else. But I don't know. I always think that if he's going to do something, he'd do it and have it lined up for the start of the window. I don't know about it now. Every day that goes by, I'm feeling more and more doubtful that we're going to get anybody in. What do you guys think though? What's everybody else's thoughts on this? Do you think we're going to bring somebody in this window, or would we maybe agree a deal for somebody in the summer, or do you think that we're just going to get our heads down now, get through it and keep ploughing on to the end of the season? Roberto said, I know they haven't bottled anything, but that's what some stupid ignorant football fans would be like. Mate, it's opposition fans praying that Liverpool bottle it. That's all it is, because they're scared. We should be taking it as a compliment. But yeah, this fucking bald idiot just gets angry at times. Plot twist, Craig is a United fan trolling 7,000 Liverpool fans. Yeah, that would be some plot twist, but I could fucking promise you it isn't the case. We didn't need to rest all our first team on the same day. We've got 11 days rest after Palace, said Crosby Red. Our reserves versus the first team, and they only won 2-1. And took a wonder strike to do it, said Cobra 1977. I still reckon Mignolet should have saved that though, pal. Honestly, his footwork was piss poor. And also Shaqiri, he looked at Neves, let him drift across. The referee kind of distracted him a bit because he was in his eye line, but then he didn't close him down quick enough. And fair play to Neves, he got a strike away, and you know, if you're him, you're over the moon. Come on, Redmen, bank 7 past Brighton and shut up all the doubters, said Facility Dime. I'm a realist, and to be honest, Wolves are a great team, said Roberto. They're definitely a team on the up, and as I said to a Wolves fan who was on during the watch along, nothing but respect for them. It's great to see them back at the top table because they're a big club, and you know, I like Wolves. Yeah, I like them, so I wish them well. Not really. I don't think we're going to get anyone, said Louis. And for those of you talking about players and dropping points and stuff, I think Liverpool will drop points in the league this year, but I also think City will drop more points in the league. Neither of the two teams are going to go and win every game between now and the end of the year. It's not going to happen. Same way it didn't happen in the first half of the season. It's just about who manages it better. And I'd much rather be in our position with that 4-point gap than be in their position and be playing catch up. Let's be honest. We need backup for forwards at Goalkeeper. Every game matters, and Klopp showed weakness. If you think that, Cade, mate, that's completely your decision to make. And every game does matter. There's no denying that one. But I don't think Klopp showed weaknesses today. I just think the players weren't good enough at the end of the day to beat that Wolves team, and Wolves got what they deserved. I reckon Klopp might have used that match to judge if he needs something in the window, which is an interesting comment, Tom. Interesting. Well, if he was using that to fucking judge, mate, then he's on the phone right now, isn't he? Saying, get me somebody in. When's the next international break? March? Is it March? I think it's March, Luke, if my memory serves me correct. Mignolet should never play again for Liverpool, and he should not be our second goalkeeper. I said all along I would promote Creevy and Kelleher to that position. No point in giving games and time to somebody who's no future at the club. I fully stand over that. I'd much rather give it to kids than give it to somebody who's got no fucking future. Don't think he'll bring anyone in January, so Anthony Peters. He may sign now for the summer. Wolves at home are a decent side, said Cobra. Niall Craig said, United, Everton, Chelsea are all City fans this season because of the mighty Reds. Did you see some of the cringy fucks that have done the United City fucking badge that combines United's badge and City's badge? It's absolutely cringeworthy as fuck. Who do you think will win the Premier League, be honest? Liverpool. But if you asked me at the start of the season, I was fully saying Manchester City. Actually, I was saying Manchester City after 12 games, I'd say. I just think that when we've got ourselves into this position, I think we'll win the league. If we were level pegging now and we're both on equal points, I would put Manchester City as favourites. I'm trying to be honest with you here. I'm trying to take off my Liverpool tinted glasses. From what I've seen of this team, and of course that Manchester City team, who are a fantastic team, I think we'll do it. I think it'll be fucking tight, and we'll give ourselves some heart attacks on the way, but I fully think we're going to do it. I live in Wolves and I'm kind of proud of them, said Pepper Red. As you should be, mate. It's your city as well. Watching Moreno defend is actually comical. Now he's left back for Liverpool amazes me. Klopp didn't look upbeat. Did it reflect on the field? It was a shit performance from start to finish, Michael. Very few positives to take out of it other than young Hoover getting some time. Camacho, I thought, looked very good. Other than that, and Curtis Jones was okay. He came in and out of the game, didn't make any big mistakes. It was just the entire game. There was no fluidity. We didn't look like we understood what the plan was. Wolves looked like a team much better drilled about what they were needing to do. Yeah, it was a few changes too many, I think. No offence, but Moreno was actually young 2.0. You're not going to offend us, mate, by coming in and saying Moreno shit. Trust me, you'll get us on your side for that, because he's absolutely ridiculously bad. Great going forward, cannot defend, cannot keep his position, cannot concentrate, can't stop himself from diving into a tackle, and if he puts his fucking hands behind his back one more time when he's going to block a cross, Jesus Christ. I think Liverpool win the league by 1 point, said MJ. Oh, that'll be heart attack stuff. Mick McCarthy to win the World Cup for Ireland, said Luke. Only Moreno was recognisable defender, and he's a head case, swiping his left foot at everything. Stop Liverpool from winning the League FC is what they call it, Craig. They try and disguise it by saying that we'll be unbearable if we win the league. We're unbearable now, probably, to be fair, because we're a fucking great bunch of fans. And of course we'll be happy if we win the league, and of course we'll be boasting about it, but they're just covering up their own worries by trying to pawn it off and say that we're all assholes. But you know my response to that? Fuck them. Brian said, I wasn't very impressed with Wolves fans singing Sign On. I didn't hear any of that, Brian, because I had to watch. When I'm doing watch alongs, I have to have the sound off because I can't have any copyright coming through whatsoever. Like I can't have the audio, I can't have the commentary because it's all copyrighted, so I have to watch it with no sound on. So I didn't see that, but if they were singing that, then that's bad form, absolutely bad form. And sometimes these fucking idiots singing Sign On, I mean, I don't know what Wolverhampton's like, I've never been there. But some of the cities that I've heard singing Sign On, I know for a fact that these places have shitty areas in them. And I know that they have poverty, and I know that they have food banks, and I know that they have people that are working poor, and people who are struggling, like every city. So where's the humanity in these situations? Sing and Sign On, I mean, fuck you, in all honesty. I just don't get it. I don't get why you would try and belittle someone's economic circumstance. Football fans usually are a good bunch. They help out with food banks. They look after their communities. And yeah, I just don't get it. It's so not what I know from football fans, if you get me. It's just people together with a mob mentality acting like fucking idiots. Whereas in real life, I fully believe most people are genuinely good people. There's just something about that mob mentality. Maybe it's a few pints. I don't know. I don't want to defend it, but I don't also want to vilify football fans all the time, because they do. There's some amazing football fans out there. We've spoken before about Liverpool and Everton fans doing amazing stuff for food banks. Arsenal fans as well. United fans. And every club's fans. There's some fans out there that don't get the recognition as much as the assholes in their supporter bases get the slagging. Like, for instance, I mean, Chelsea, they've had an awful time of it lately as a fan base. They've had anti-Semitic stuff, homophobia, racist comments. But I'm sure that there's some good charitable work going on by Chelsea fans as well. But we're not going to hear about that, because that's not sexy. That's not what sells. Spurs fans as well. They've had some stuff. They threw a banana at Aubameyang. I think I've seen something recently about a homophobic chant. I could be wrong, and I apologise if I am on that one. But yeah, every fan base has dickheads. Every single one of them. And we're no fucking saints either. Liverpool fan base has its own amount of dickheads. I can't come on here and lie and say I haven't seen Liverpool fans mocking Munich. I have, and they're scumbags. I can't come on here and defend the Liverpool fan if it was a Liverpool fan, but the person that threw the can of Copperberg or the bottle of Copperberg at the city bus that broke the window, that's scumbag behaviour, and not something I'd ever do in my life, and not something 99% of people would do. But there's also a fuckload of good fans in the world, and they're the ones we should be holding up as beacons of hope, and holding up to use as an example to kids and to other people that are watching the game, rather than the easy thing of showing the scumbags and giving them the fucking airtime. Whereas the people that are actually working their ass off to benefit their communities, they're not getting held up. They're not getting given the recognition and the credence and the kudos that they deserve. We could easily drop points, but at least we have less games to play this month. City have had semis and an FA Cup, but we could equally be hit by injuries. We still have a 4-point lead. Well, look, with this and the Champions League now, there's no excuse. It's a game a week pretty much outside of Champions League weeks. Jurgen Klopp he probably have more time now to work with the players than he's had at any point during the season. So we have no excuses now, none. The team looked disjointed, which is understandable, as we've 9 changes at Cobra. Guys, we've got about 20 minutes left on tonight's stream, so if you do have any more questions or comments, please do put them in. It's been a really long ass day actually. I've been on here since about 7:15, so it'll be 4 3/4 hours basically. So if you've any questions, try and get the last ones in. West Ham have had bad fans smash their bus like 2 years ago. Yeah, and that was fucking much worse than what happened to the Man City bus. Much worse. I remember watching that going, wow, there's no place for that in football. And look, I've seen Manchester City fans do it to a bus as well. And look, as I said, we're no fucking saints. I'm not trying to pawn off on everyone else here and say Liverpool fans, shit doesn't stink. We have absolutely got our own assholes to deal with. LFC to dominate the league for the next 10 years, have facility time. Would love to have seen young Bobby Duncan tonight. Could have put in a better shift and That gobshite steroid, said Liam Granby. They sing it at Goodison too, which is fucking ridiculous. I think you mean other fans singing at Goodison, by the way. I don't think you mean that Evertonians singing at Liverpool fans. I know, they get it as well, and it's equally as sickening when it's sung there. It's just wrong. Glad I don't watch that team week in and week out. Well, look, none of us will watch that team week in and week out because that's a team that's never played together before. We can't sign Manolas. Roma wouldn't let us have another one, said G.I. Jose. Opinions on Bobby Adekenye leaving on a free. There's some players, mate, that come to the club and they do quite well at youth levels, but for some reason the manager or the coaches just don't think that they're going to make that push on, and it's very tough to make it through when you're at a club like Liverpool, United, City, Arsenal, Spurs. Very, very few players get into that first team and make a living for themselves. So for every Ryan Brewster or Raheem Sterling, Michael Owen, Steven Gerrard, Robbie Fowler, there is 50 other lads who couldn't quite make it but have gone down. Look at Connor Cody. Connor Cody didn't make it at Liverpool, but he didn't give up. He went back down to the leagues, and now he's the captain of a Premier League side, and fair play to him. So I trust Klopp's decision. If the club let him go, then I just trust that they know what they're doing. Okay, what else have we got? Jonathan King, mate, I'll talk to you really soon. 24 subs away, guys, from that 7,200. So again, if you're watching, please do hit that subscriber button. Craig, would you take Jamie Vardy at the club if he was available? No, because of his age, but yes, because of his quality. Look, I'm not going to say Jamie Vardy wouldn't be good in our system, because I think he'd be very fucking good in our system. And Jamie Vardy's an excellent striker. I personally don't like the fella, but I don't know, his age and the money that he'd cost coming from Leicester, I just don't think it would be good value for money. You're right there, Craig. Sancho would be prime example of this also. Left City because they don't believe in him, and now look, it happens from time to time, mate. Look at Pogba, left United, went to Juventus, did fucking brilliant. Suso left Liverpool, he's doing okay at AC Milan. It happens all the time, and that's why the German league, as an example now, is being they're happy to say to kids, come on, come here, we've proven, we'll let you develop, we'll give you game time. Look at Sancho, as you said, a fantastic example, and now he's worth 80-90 million quid. Do you think the mood has changed in the dressing room? No, not at all. Not at all, mate. You can't look at that team today and think anything of it, because it wasn't our team. It was a collection of and others, backup players. The City game was tough to take. There's no two ways about that. I mean, that was us. That was our best 11 out there fighting for the game, and we lost the City. That was a fair defeat. It's just it's a nothingness thing. Be nice to get through, but I wouldn't judge your season on this game. Tobias Red, pillar of the community, Craig lad. What time are you up for work in the morning? Mate, I don't go to work in the mornings. I don't go to work full stop. I'm self-employed. I don't need to go to work, mate. As I said, I have a son with autism that I need to be a carer for at home here, and I have my own little business that bring in money for me. So don't worry about me. I'll roll out of bed whenever I need to. I don't know what you meant by your comment, but if it's a sly dig, then go fuck yourself. If it was a genuine question, then I've answered it. Do you reckon Stevie G will take Sturridge, Moreno, Bings off our hands? No, I don't think even he'd want them, to be fair, Liam. If Harry Kane was available for Liverpool, would you take him? Yes, every day of the week. Of course I would. Harry Kane's a fucking excellent striker. As much as I slag him about being a diving shit and all, he's a fucking fantastic centre forward. Don't like the loss, but we can get some good training in now, said James Painter. Vardy just for the makeup sales in Liverpool. Maybe Klopp goes in for a centre back now. I doubt it. I'd say it's the summer. If Klopp doesn't start winning trophies, he has to go. It's your opinion. Some of us disagree. I look for progression every year, mate, and this year have we seen progression? Absolutely. Look how far we were behind City last year. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, there comes a time where you have to say no fucking trophies, not good enough. But I don't think we're at that point yet. City was a tough pill to swallow, but I think the game could have swung anyway. That Mane goal, the first half, was the difference. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? The break of a ball against the post, like tonight. If that Shaqiri one goes in, we're probably getting a replay. If Mane's goes in, we could have won the game or gotten a point. But look, it is what it is. Craig, what do you think our points total will be at the end of the season? Fucking hell, Niall. I haven't thought about it, mate. Oh, look at that, 7177. That looks weird. I think you have to get minimum 95 to win this league, probably. But I haven't thought about what it might be. What is autism? That's a very, very tough question for me to answer here, mate, in a sentence or two. Autism spectrum disorder, how would I describe it? Oh, fucking hell, mate. I haven't probably got the wherewithal to describe it to you in a few sentences. Google it is my best answer. From a kid's point of view, from my son's point of view, it's more about developmental markers and him lacking in certain things and being ahead in other things, actually. Yeah, look, Google it is the best way. Like, I have Asperger's, which is a form of autism, but I'm pretty high functioning. Whereas my son would be completely different. He'd be down the other end of the spectrum and he would need a lot of help. Not that I need to explain myself to that gentleman earlier on, but you know, I'm an open book on here, so I'll always try and be honest. Autism is an illness that covers a multitude of issues in varying degrees, too much to list. It's really difficult to explain to somebody in a few sentences, really difficult. Because it's so varied. It can be like me, for instance, I'd be at the high functioning end of the scale. Where if you have some people who'd be non-verbal autistic, they wouldn't even be able to speak clearly. They might not be able to take care of themselves. They couldn't express themselves. They could have sensory issues around sound or light or touch or taste. There's so much, mate. It's such a spectrum. I think we'll win the Holy Grail because Pep said we're the best team in the world, said on Meadows. Hey Craig, I appreciate you broadcasting this late. Not many fan channels do this, so thank you. That's really nice of you, mate. Thanks. I really appreciate that. It's not very often people actually say a thank you. People say well done and they like it, which is brilliant. But yeah, thank you, David. That's really kind of you. I do this because I'm passionate about the club and because I understand that we've got amazing subscribers on the channel and I want to give them a chance to air their views because that's what this channel is. It's not about my opinion, it's about your opinions. So that's why I spend as much time as I do trying to read through the comments, even though I'm sitting here with a bursting headache for the past half an hour because of the ring light. It's blinding me and it's giving me a headache, but it's not going to stop me. We got to stop or Bossman Craig gets angry. I haven't been looking at anything that the mods are doing, lads. Honestly, I haven't seen what you have been doing, so you work away. Stop lying, Craig. You're not functioning after that loss. Oh look, like anybody else, mate, I'm pissed off. Absolutely pissed off that we lose. Every time we lose, I'm pissed off. I just try and put things into perspective, and this loss doesn't hurt me anywhere near as much as the Man City one did. I was fucking fuming after that loss. As much as I came on here and tried to project positivity and stuff, because that's my job. I'm fucking fuming, mate. Fucking fuming deep down. I couldn't believe we didn't get at least a point out of that game and leave that 7-point gap there. But credit to Manchester City, they dug in and they got the win. Cundy is hammering Liverpool, saying that we're finished. Cundy can lick my balls, honestly. That fucking little troll looking prick. Jason Cundy, he's just washed up and trying to stay relevant. Does anybody give a fuck from a Liverpool perspective what Jason Cundy has to say. Honestly, he's just a mouthy, gobby little balding prick. That's about it on Jason Cundy. Subi, mate, that's the 7th time I can count that you've put the same comment in about your profile picture. I get it, mate. I just don't read out every comment. I still read them. I just don't read them out, buddy. 22 subscribers to go, guys, to 7,200, and we've got 10 minutes left. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to help out, please do hit that button. Gabriel Adams said, I'm a carer too, Craig. I look after children up to the age of 16 that have autism, EBD, etc. Do you know what, Gabriel, mate? I can't even begin to have words for the respect that I have for you, mate, and the teachers that work with my son and all the other kids in the units, the autism units and stuff. It's fucking angels isn't the right word. It's not enough. It's not kind enough. When my son started school a year ago, the development in that year has been unbelievable. So Gabriel, mate, to you and the other carers that work with the kids, love, mate. I love you. I love each and every one of you for doing that. You guys are amazing people, and you are the real fucking heroes in the world. The teachers, the nurses that work with all kids and kids with learning difficulties or disabilities, you're all fucking angels, absolute angels. Craig's reactions to the trolls are priceless. My missus keeps having a go at me over it. I should know better. I'm 37 years of age, but I'm that fucking passionate about the team that I hate anybody trying to run us down. So yeah, I know I shouldn't bite, but I need to vent my frustrations at times as well, I'm afraid, guys. I'm a human being. Funnily enough, for my A-level in science, I had to cover autism. It's really interesting to me, and take Craig's word for it, you'll need to Google it. It's impossible to explain in a few sentences. Look, I've been learning about autism now for about two and a bit years, and I've barely scratched the surface. It's something that's forever developing. Even the names to describe conditions are changing all the time. It's crazy, but it's great that so many people are being diagnosed earlier now, and it's been spotted. My wife was so quick to spot our son and to have him assessed, whereas I went 35 years before I was diagnosed. I went through school, a lot of life, and yeah, I wasn't diagnosed. I was 35, but it was a life changer for me. Jason Cundy can fuck off, said Tom Boland. I'm happy this stupid cup is over. Don't want to have the cup, Premier League and Champions League to deal with in April, said Rod. Jason, Roy should play test cricket. Connor said, Connor, you skipped an ad, you absolute bastard. Connor, you can't skip ads now. You have to go back and watch 5 ads now as a penance. Cundy with a silent D and a silent T, or silent Y, sorry, and a silent, yeah. Cunt D. Why do people get worked up? If Craig doesn't read your comment, if you used to read every comment, the stream would be about 6 hours long. Yeah, look, I have these conversations with Connor. I try my best to get through as many as I can, but fucking hell, as you said, like if I read every comment out, I'd go insane for a start, but I'd be here for hours and hours and hours. Craig, if that question bothered you, I'm really sorry I brought it up. No, not at all. Not at all, Kirby. It's just a very tough one, mate, to answer in a couple of sentences. But don't apologise. It was a genuine question. That's Craig's struggle, to be fair. Although I think we tend to take things for granted sometimes. Easy to forget how others have it. What else we got? I think we'll win the league with a squeaky arse, said Tom P. Yeah, I think the same, Tom. I don't think we're going to romp home by 10 or 12 as much as I'd love us to. Who's Jason Grundy? Exactly. He's a fucking nobody that used to play for Chelsea and that wants to stay relevant now. So just lives in his little London bubble and pisses all over Liverpool and teams from the north because he wants to stay relevant. I was diagnosed 10 years ago with Asperger's. It's hard, but I got out of it. Yeah, look, I'm fucking learning every single day. Who's your favourite player in Liverpool right now? Bobby Firmino. Bobby Firmino, Qatari. Love him. Absolutely love the guy. Rod, lineup versus Brighton. Right, here we go. Fuck it, I'll keep going for a few more minutes. Give us your lineup versus Brighton, guys. Well, let's finish up with that one. I'm going to go for Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Robertson, Henderson, Gini, Keita, or Shaqiri, but we'll say Keita, and then the front three. That's my one. Happy to read out all yours. If you read every comment, I think you'd have no vocal cords left. Honestly, I'll get up tomorrow and I won't be able to talk for a few hours. I'll probably rest my voice until tomorrow night's stream. I do try my best though. Honestly, I do put in, like, this is almost 5 hours now, and I'm trying. Timo Werner would be nice. Would do very nicely indeed. He meant to write Asperger's, Roberto, but he misspelled it, mate. Your thoughts on Arsenal as a club? I mean, yeah, they're a club that's run the right way. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm probably a little bit pissed off that Stan Kroenke is putting his hand in his pocket at the minute. But if he does, fair play. They've got a very good manager. They're definitely going in the right direction. A little bit weak in defence, but I've no really bad things to say about Arsenal. Yeah, how could you? I mean, their fan base is okay. They've built themselves a lovely stadium. Like any club though, when you move out a manager that's been there so long, there's going to be a transition period, but theirs seems to be going quite well at the minute. So if Kroenke releases some funds and gives the manager money, I think they'll do quite well. Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, VVD, Robbo, Henderson, Gini, Keita, and the Fab 3 for Christopher. Rick is going Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Robbo, Keita, Hendo, Gini, and again the front three. Liverpool fan 9 is going centre midfield of Fabinho, centre midfield Henderson. Mignolet, Lovren, Bogdan, Moreno, Markovic for Rod. All the classics. Throw the bunny in there as well, Rod. Why not? We'll bring back Joe Cole as well, Paul Konchesky. Thank Rogers for Suso's teeth. I swear to God, when you sign for Liverpool, the first thing you get must be a voucher for teeth whitening. It has to be. We must have the best fucking dental care in the Premier League. Cameron Carlier, mate, excuse me for mispronouncing, just came back from Ireland, spent 5 days and hadn't been there for 2 years. Was great, but I forgot my family supported United back there. Didn't leave my Liverpool jersey for the entire 5 days. It's an expensive country though, Cameron, isn't it? If you're over, mate, for the first time in a while, depending on what part of the country you were in, Ireland can be pretty damn expensive at times, but it is a nice place. I love it here. As much as I'm trying to get out of it, that's for different reasons. That's for mental health reasons. Asperger's, mate, Jersey boy, it's a form of autism. Yeah, again, just trying to explain a little bit. So just as an example, for my Asperger's, I see everything in life as black or white. Most people live in a grey area, whereas, you know, things have little nuances, or things have other things that you could live in a grey area. How am I explaining this? I either like someone or I don't. I either like something or I don't. I can cut somebody out of my life that I've known for 25 years in 2 minutes if I feel that it's the right thing to do, or if that's the decision I make. I don't see the subtle nuances. I can't, like, if you write a comment in here, it's really tough for me to decipher whether you're being sarcastic or whether you're being genuine or whether you're trying to call me a prick without using the word prick. I speak what's on my mind. I don't give a fuck if it offends people, because I think it's the right thing to do, because I'm telling the truth. I'm speaking the truth. It would be a lot easier for me and some people with Asperger's in life to just lie, like most people do, pretend I like somebody, pretend I like the way they're going on, or talk about them behind their back. But that's not me. I'll just say I don't like you, sorry, and that's it. What else can I describe about Asperger's? I have crippling anxiety at times. I mean, I could go weeks without leaving the house if it gets bad. I've come on and done streams where I haven't left the bed for the entire day. I've just come on and done the stream because I felt I owed it to people to come on. I've got sensory issues around noises, and that's just my personal experience. Everyone's is different. Do I still have confidence Cahill can become the Cahill of a few years ago? Yes, Stephen, I really do. I just think that he's going to need a full year by the looks of it. He's going to be one of those players that takes a while to settle. Kirby's gone. Alisson, Robbo, Van Dijk, Trent, Hoover, Gini, Keita, Fabinho, Salah, Firmino. Connor said, from my experience with Craig, it's basically this. You're good or you're a cunt. He loves something or he hates something. There's no real in between with him sometimes. Yeah, that's the truth. And it can be tough because I can really cut people off and they can think I'm being a harsh bastard, but I don't know any other way. That's the tough part of it for me. Never ever ever drink in Temple Bar, said Brian. Fucking never ever ever. Jesus, you'll be paying through the nose if you drink a Temple Bar. You could be paying 11 quid for a pint. That's how bad it gets. Right, where are we? It's like there's no patience for tolerance. I'm the same. I mean, that little smart cunt earlier on that was trying to say what time do I have to be up for work at in the morning, he doesn't know my life from Adam. Knows nothing about me. And just because he knows I don't have to be up at 8 o'clock to go to work, he thinks he can have a sly little dig at me. Fuck him. I bet you he would. I'd gladly give him my life for a week and see how he gets on. Who's going to replace Lovren on Saturday? Probably Fabinho would be my guess. I'm similar to yours. I'm sensitive to noise. I find it hard when people joke. I either hate someone or like them. And I also get anxious. Right guys, I think I'm going to leave it there if that's okay. This headache's getting a bit too much to stay on with. Did you ever watch that show, The Autistic Gardener? No, I haven't seen it, mate. If I'm being honest, if it's not comedy on television, I'm probably not watching it. I just love stand-up comedy. I was watching you on the TV, but then you started to talk about your issues. Thank you for speaking about it so openly. Thank you, Shiny mate. Thank you very much. We should always try and speak openly. I'm an open book on here, so I'm always going to be honest. This is why you'll continue to grow. You are yourselves. Thank you, mate. That's really, really nice of you. Craig, we love you, mate. I love all of you guys too. I really do. Doing a top job, my Irish David Banner. See, I get that reference as much as I'm not into it. I get the Incredible Hulk reference. It's Chancey Gardner, said Rod. What else we got? I think that's it. Right guys, look, gonna say goodnight. We're only one away from 7180. There we are. Boom, it's a round number. Thank you. Right guys, look, I apologise to anyone if I had a bit of a rant earlier. I had a go at trolls. That's just me, I'm afraid. You'll get the good, the bad and the ugly. Thank you so much to everyone that joined us tonight on what is another fucking tough night. It's been 2 in a row to come on after the Reds haven't quite performed as we'd hoped. Love each and every one of you, and as I always say, look after your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Up the motherfucking Reds.